Yes, I will believe in this nation and the promises it holds, and we believe we will get there someday. And we are live on Facebook. On last week, Friday, yes, last week we celebrated our 61st independence anniversary. Nigeria at 61. Yes, and looking at that song by Timi Dakolo, Great Nation, we believe in this nation. A lot of people are saying that they no longer believe in this nation. Yes, after 61 years, how far have we come? That's the topic we'll be discussing this morning. And our guest is our regular friend of the house, John Taiwo Adetayo. John, good morning and welcome to the program.
Good morning.
Yes, will it be right to say Happy Independence? Let's start this way on the program.
Oh, of course. Okay. We are still celebrating the independence.
Yes, because we've not seen since that time and on this show. Okay, Happy Independence to you. Okay, that day, a lot of people were angry. When you say Happy Independence, so a lot of people will say there is nothing to celebrate. There is no independence. Okay, we'll run through the comments and we'll take it one after the other because I had time with people. One person said, it's only the politicians that are independent in Nigeria. When are the citizens going to be independent?
First of all, save for the fact that 1st of October is just like a normal date. I do not see any celebration. It's just a normal date for me. So, the independence of Nigeria or the Nigerian nations, because we have so many nations in Nigeria. So, that's what we are still waiting for, actually. The politicians are indeed very independent, but the Nigerians are still dependent.
Okay, let's look at a high-profile person, Governor Nyesom Wike of Rivers State. He said there is nothing to celebrate.
I think that man, for me, it's my man of the year because it doesn't call, it doesn't see red and say it's green. It call a spade, and it's what it is. It's my man of the year.
Yep. Okay, another person said, in the midst of independence, we are still in bondage in Nigeria.
Actually, we are not independent as such. I was trying to go through the independence
speech.
That's the real independence speech, not the ones we are having now.
Okay.
Looking at the vision, the plan of the founding fathers of Nigeria and their joy at the independence and what we have now, I think is a far dream. As of 1989, 40 bags of cement was sold for 1,440 something naira. That was 1989. And today, a bag of cement is 4,000, 5,000, depending on which market you're buying from. So it shows that we are still far from the vision of our founding fathers.
Okay. Lastly, on that pitch, somebody said that Nigeria as a nation, yes, we are independent, but in the midst of independence, we are neo-colonized.
Yes, no. We have a part that feels we are lord over others. So it's still neo-colonialism that we are practicing. Let's break it down. How many of people from the other parts are holding one or two strong positions at the same persons from another part of the country? So it's just we are recolonizing ourselves by ourselves. The politicians recolonizing the citizens. The only thing they know and the independence they give us is election is coming. We'll give you a bag of rice or a few derika of rice. And people are happy. We'll go back to our slavery.
Okay. Lastly, that day, the president made a speech.
Okay.
And let's take the last part of that speech. The last word he said. He said, in 6 years, I have done more than any other government since 1999.
Very well. Very
how
true.
do you analyze that statement?
If we analyze that statement, we will not live here. But the truth is, we have seen more insurgency. We have seen more death. We have seen more sufferings. We have seen. He has done more than any other president since 1999. At least a bag of rice now sells for 28,000, depending on which of it, 30,000. And then we have borrowed more than any other president. So he has done more. For me, he has done more.
Okay, let's move away from that now. Let's look at Nigeria properly. Nigeria as a nation. Okay. Now, when we talk about independence, a lot comes to mind. Now, from these reactions from the people, and looking at it, is the people that know, because there is a saying that he who wears a shoe
knows where it pinches.
Yes. Now, looking at Nigeria as a whole, you as a citizen, what do you make of these 61 years after independence?
It's just a normal celebration, just like I'm celebrating my birthday. That's the way I see it. We are just celebrating the birthday of Nigeria. Simple. Because when you attach the independence of a nation to the celebration, you must be able to pinpoint achievements that are people-oriented achievements, not government achievements, people-oriented achievements. I'm a businessman. I cannot do my business peacefully. I cannot even go out as early as I want. I pay for my light. I generate my light. I generate my water. I build my own house. In fact, the only thing the government has been able to do for me is to collect tax, VAT, and now others. So what is the independence in it? There is no independence. So if you are saying we want to celebrate 60 years, what happened 60 years ago? Are we still in that line? 60 years down the lane, countries who came up few years ago, they're doing fine. Before you know it, South Sudan will blow up and then we'll be running after South Sudan. I was trying to check our currency, our naira with Benin Republic. We are almost at par. Before, if somebody gives you 1,000 CD, you'll be like, are you okay? But now when you get 1,000 CD and you convert it to naira, it is just a few change away from it. So what is the independence? We keep borrowing. Borrowing. In fact, now we are scared as a country because we're already putting ourselves under another level of bondage. Because when China comes now and says, guys, we need our money, we are all owing. And we have just approved another one.
Not even approving another one. Yesterday, the Minister of Finance said that we are going to borrow to fund the 2022 budget.
So that's to tell you the kind of country we have. What do we have? We don't have anything. Remove the oil, Nigeria is finished. We are relying on the oil, and the oil keeps increasing. The prices per barrel keeps falling because there are other alternatives now. People are already doing gasoline cars. We're already seeing electric cars. We're already seeing, very soon we'll see water-powered cars. But Nigeria is still relying on fuel. Now, the common man cannot even afford to refill his cooking gas again. Gas that we fill for 1,200, 2,000 is now going up to 3,000, 3,400, 6,000, 6,500. So what do we make up of the independence? Nothing.
Okay, having said this now, drawing from the speech of the president when he said that he has done more than any other government since 1999.
We agree.
Yes, looking back, let's not, before we come to this government in particular, looking back from 1999 when we've had a stable democracy. Now, looking at government from that 1999 till date, how would you say we've fared?
We've done worse. Presently, we've done worse. Because we dwell more in the past than in the future. I made so much debt. I made this. I made that. We are dwelling in the past. We are not a forward-thinking government. We're not looking... Okay, somebody owed 1,000 naira. It is in law that whoever inherits the government inherits both asset and liability. If the government has left so much billions, are we going to complain? No, we are not going to complain. And we have spent 4 years. We have spent extra now. 2 years. So what are we still complaining? We don't dwell in the past. If you are saying that the government in the past didn't do anything, after all, we still have our GSM mobile phone. They will be able to do that. And all of us are benefiting from it. And down the lane, there are other benefits that we have enjoyed in the past. Things were cheaper, lots cheaper. Life was easy to live. Now people are depressed. People are committing suicide. People are now going through all sorts of alternative means to generate fund, kidnapping. Now we have the highest number of Yahoo guys. Now, fraudsters. They've increased. EFCC only go to targeted people. So what are we saying?
Okay, now having looked at 1999 till date, there was a statement I also missed purposely. I want to bring it to this conversation now. Someone said that the white man, the colonial masters, they left too early. That the independence came too early for Nigeria as a country, and that's why we are where we are today.
Even if they gave us independence last week, I'm sure by now we'll start having problem. Because the truth about the whole thing is this. One, we keep telling the youth, you are the leaders of tomorrow. That's what we have been singing over 40 years before we were born. Parents, listen to your children. They are the leaders of tomorrow. Now, we have been singing this song. Can you tell me how many 25-year-olds we have in any of the national assemblies in Nigeria? I need just one that is 25 years old. All we have is people of, let's take a minimum of 40 years. That is even football age for some of them. That is football age. Because our president has been celebrating same year almost all the time. I went online and I went and searched for our Jagaban. And then the age on it was funny. The official age is not even on the platform. So it shows that we have majority of these guys that are far approaching the grave than leading the nation. And then we want the nation to work. Let's take it back home. Even from within our society, our community, our small enclaves, we already have political settings. People see you that you are the best at what you are doing, but they feel, is it the only one here? Let somebody else do it. They don't care. Either the person that wants to do it will do it right. They just want somebody to be there. It is something that is happening from our grassroots. And unfortunately, it keeps going up. And we want change. We want things to work. Things will not work. When you put a carpenter in place of a pilot, people will die. You pick a mechanic to be a surgeon. What's he going to do? Is he going to lose engine parts? That is the situation we have found ourselves, and that is what we have to bear.
Okay. Now, looking at Nigeria as a nation, since after these 61 years, you mentioned something, but over time we keep hearing that we are a blessed nation with natural resources.
Of course.
So, why is it over time, even before the COVID, I keep hearing diversification of economy and the rest of them.
We are still waiting.
And here we are today. Looking at that sector, is there hope for Nigeria?
There is hope for Nigeria. The problem we have is that Nigeria is a segmented country. That things only work in one part of the country, except the others are ready to fight. And when you take any move, it is seen as treasonable felony. It is seen as affront to government, affront to power. I said something that we are generating our own light. Today, almost every house in Nigeria has generator. Whether I pass my neighbor or I senior my neighbor, there is a generator. Today, almost every house being built or that has been built in Lagos are running their own water. And I hope very soon we'll not have earthquakes. Because the pressure from our boreholes, 3 houses, everybody has their own borehole. We generate, and today borehole collapse, you construct another one, you dig another one. So everything we are generating, despite the fact that we are living on water. In fact, we are living in water. We are living in water, not on water, in water in Lagos. So, but then we still have to generate our own water. So how do we diversify? How do we diversify? We have agric, we have animal husbandry, we have fuel, we have mines, gold mines, we have bitumen, we have all these things. But the greediness of our leaders will not want to make all these things work. How would this man be rich when I'm still the one controlling? And that's the mentality we have been able to build for ourselves, that I have to be the one that dictates things. And it's not supposed to be. So we cannot diversify the economy because some people are still making money. How come we have not been able to build one solid refinery in Nigeria? 61 years down. All refineries in Nigeria are dead. We have to go out of the country to refine. It shows that something is going on that they don't want people to know. We used to be the largest producer of cocoa. Where is it? We have our own textile companies. Where are these companies? Today we have to go to Benin Republic to import Guinea, to import Ankara, to import Adire. We have to go to Benin Republic to import chicken. We have to smuggle rice into the country. We used to have all these things. So we are diversified from those ones to petrol. Now we want to re-diversify back to... And then some people are still ordering the fertilizer that's supposed to be given to farmers probably at no cost. Some people are still ordering it. Who are the people the Bank of Industry are financing? Is it the same farmers or the rich guys? So we cannot diversify. We have it, but we cannot, because some people are still enjoying the benefit from the oil boom. Some people are still enjoying the benefit from the dollar increase. Some people are still enjoying the benefit from the pounds increase. So people are going back to banks now to buy dollar, to buy pounds, to keep. They will tell you they are traveling, they will buy. And then you are saying the dollar keeps increasing, the pounds keep increasing, we are suffering. We will continue to suffer.
Okay, you're still listening to State of the National Political Program on Lagoon Radio, your number one online gospel radio in Nigeria. And you've been hearing the voice of John Taiwo Adetayo. We are talking about 61 years after independence. How far have we come? We'll go on this short break. When we come back, we will have time to listen to more. Download that app on Google Play Store and Apple Store. Also, follow us on our social media platforms. On Facebook, we are live, Lagoon Radio Nigeria. And on Instagram, LagoonRadio.Ng. We'll be right back.
You are listening to Lagoon Radio.
There's hope for us all. Our land, where there's hope for us all. We'll defend our land. We believe in this would shine like the sun. Oh, from the north, south, east, and west. Somebody say, if you believe to the say, with the foot alone, but all we have, yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, say we are.
You are listening to Lagoon Radio.
Yes, you are listening to Lagoon Radio, your number one online gospel radio in Nigeria and the official radio of the Anglican Diocese of Lagos. Of course, we are transmitting live from the Diocesan's Palace right here in Marina, Lagos. And we are discussing 61 years after independence. How far have we come? Yes, like we told you, remember, download the app on Google Play Store and Apple Store. On Facebook, yes, we are live. Follow us on Facebook, and it's Facebook Nigeria / Lagoon Radio, and on Instagram, Lagoonradio.Ng. Yes, John Taiwo Adetayo is here, and we've been talking about Nigeria at 61. Now, looking at Nigeria at 61, a man that was giving birth in the last 61 years, maybe he should be preparing for his retirement by now. And
Normally, you should have retired. I think the age is 60 now.
yes,
Except they've changed it. It's still 60. So by now, he should be collecting pension.
and looking at what you said when we talk about youth, Adams Oshomole mentioned something yesterday. He said in the last dispensation, in fact, since 1999, most of the governors that have failed are a bunch of youths in Nigeria. Do you believe in that statement?
Because it should mention what the youth we are talking about. There's an age for youth, a universal suffrage age for youth. You cannot be telling me someone of 40 years is a youth, and you are using that to judge the reasonable youth. Fine. Majority of us were not prepared or have not been prepared for political positions. These guys just come. We understand the bureaucracy of how things work, and then we feel it's the next person. It's election. Majority of the youth, we already have this feeling that, okay, we can't be in this position. No, we can't be called at this point to take up this particular position. So we don't really prepare ourselves for it. The people he is talking about, how many of them worked with their own hands to be who they are? They should come out and tell us. They had it all free. It was a free lunch for them in Freetown. But now there's no free lunch for us. We pay for almost everything. They had the privilege of going to government paid schools. They had the privilege of being sponsored to go for one course or the other. Now you only hear of the scholarship after it has closed. Because they've already selected people that will go. How many boys are you bringing? 15, okay. You uncle? Everything is sorted out in-house. Then maybe they will leave the remaining 5 so that they will not say we didn't do anything. Let's open. After 5 people register, the platform closes. Everybody will try. No network. So what is he saying? When he was there, what did he do? He was given a platform. We enjoyed the platform. But he went into politics and became somebody else. So it seems to have already been positioned to change when things come to our hands. You see somebody when they are still trying to struggle, they are very humble. Immediately alert, 1 million enter. You see the shoulder pad. Then after another 1 million enter, you now see the double. So it's like our mind have been conditioned to change whenever something good start happening, and we forget where we start from. And then that is the problem we have with this set of people that are calling themselves youth. How old is Rotimi Amechi now? Is he still 40? How old was he when he was governor of Rivers State? How old was Fashola? And the likes of them. And they are claiming, these are not youth. Fashola is 60. Right? Or 60 is going to be 60 anyhow. The football age and the professional age. So, we know all these guys. Fortunately, we can read. So you can't tell us that the majority of the governors that have failed are youth. If you start talking about youth, Fashola was a youth. We saw what they did in Lagos for the 8 years he spent. So you should make reference to which other one. And we have seen what he's doing, even at his age, at the federal level. Despite the fact that he has to travel almost all the parts of the country. We are seeing it. What about the other ones? We have made reference to one. He should make reference to whoever he's talking about.
Okay. Now, and after 61 years, it seems as if, like the song said, the song of Timi Dakolo, he said, different tongues, different tribes, but we are united. But over time, you hear the slogan, the unity of Nigeria is not negotiable, and the rest of them. And in every part of this nation, there is an agitation. So after 61 years, why the grumbles? Why the agitations?
One thing I love about the Bible is everything is clear. The Bible says that, so shall a man leave his father and his mother and be cleaved to his own wife. And the truth shall be what? One. The Bible has talked about separation. Moses was called to go to, Abraham rather, was called to leave his father's land and go to another land. So there is nothing like unity. There is unity, there is diversity, unity in diversity. And then our separation does not mean that we are divided. We are not same tongue people. We have different tongues, different tribes. Nigeria alone has over 245 languages. So what are we talking about? And we want the same people to be together forever. We can go our separate ways and still run things together. Czechoslovakia, they are not together again. They are still together. They are still same neighbors. Denmark, Netherlands, and the rest. All of them were together before. They went their separate ways without issues. So what's the big deal? What's the big deal? We can go our separate ways and still... But we all know what is going on. How do one region survive without the other? We can survive now. It will be import and export duty charges. Simple. And that will be another source of income for either party.
Okay, this after 61 years, have we done better? Because we are looking.
Yes,
at
corruptively, we have done better.
Oh,
We have done. It's been 61 years of a corrupt nation. Yeah, we have done better. We have been able to. Let me tell you something. There is no way you can tell me you want to be born again in this country. Once you take contracts, once you do business, your mind will be corrupted. Except you don't want to survive. Let me blow your bubbles. I went somewhere, gave an estimate, check a job, and after I finished, the man said, "Have you checked?" I said, "Yes, I've checked." I said, "Okay. After you finish putting your quotations, you must put administrative charges." In my own quotation, I'm not going to write it out. But whatever I'm writing, if I'm buying wood of 100 naira, I must understand that the wood is sold for 105 naira. Because the man will collect administrative charges. That is what we have been able to pass down from the top. By the time you say, okay, give Lagoon Radio 100,000, the man who is in charge of disbursement say, okay, Lagoon Radio, they say we give on 95. Then that one will collect and say, before it gets to Lagoon Radio, it's already 75. And Lagoon Radio will be happy. We got 75. We got 75. Unfortunately, there is no way you can write a letter of appreciation because before it even gets top, the man will collect 75. And that's the end. So we have been able to teach people how to be corrupt, how to manipulate things, how to manipulate words, how to make the country look like everything is fine when it's not. And unfortunately, we are the happiest people on earth. whatever the situation, we are happy.
Okay, this conversation of the 61 years, and looking at it, in some of the states, there were low-key celebrations, and it's boiled down to the insecurity and in different parts of the nation. Now, it's like the insecurity is in another realm in this country. And now, coming down to this administration, this was one of the key points they promised us. The major point they promised us, that when they get to power, that this will be a thing of the past. 6 years down the line, we are still where we are. We are retrogressing.
6 years and like people are even scared to to celebrate things. You see that the people are now looking at time. You see that normally weddings, people do weddings till midnight. Some people will do till have night party and the rest. But now weddings, people, they are already telling the priest, time. They will tell, yes, our time. They will go to the reception, do everything speedily, and then everybody wants to go because nowhere is safe. Not even your house is safe. Not your house. On 2 occasions, my house has been burgled. Entered through the fence, carried my gas.
Gas.
Yeah. And 2 weeks ago, a car that was parked in front of my house, in fact, in front of my own car, they broke the glass, entered, removed the brain box, removed all the key accessories of the car before morning. And then we had soldiers parading. So by 12 o'clock, my area is dry. So who is in charge of securing us? If people can still do that. A week after, the chairman of Landlord Association had the same experience. Entered his car, break in, took the brain box, took all the most sensitive part of the car and disappeared.
Okay, we'll go on this short break. When we come back, we look at the way forward. Is there still hope for Nigeria? Like we always ask. Yes, I know there is hope. So we'll look at it when we come back. Remember, you're still listening to State of the National Political Program on Lagoon Radio. We'll be right back.
You are listening to Lagoon Radio.
And we know we'll get there.
are listening to Lagoon Radio.
Yes, you're still on to Lagoon Radio, your number one online gospel radio in Nigeria and official radio of the Anglican Diocese of Lagos. Yes, we are live on Facebook, Lagoon Radio Nigeria / Facebook. Yes, Facebook / Lagoon Radio Nigeria. And on Instagram, Lagoonradio.Ng. Listen to us directly via the link www.lagoonradio.ng. We are looking at 61 years after independence. How far have we come? Yes, our guest is still here, John Adetayo. And looking at the way forward. And one of the songs, Greenland by T.Y. Bello, he said the land is green. And looking at Nigeria, and there is this saying that the land is always greener on the other side. And if you look at it, we have massive exodus of youth from Nigeria now. And today, in one of the newspapers, they said UAE, they are trying to repatriate about 500 Nigerians because they don't have working visas. Their visas are no longer valid. Now, we are talking, these are majorly youths. Is there a hope for this nation?
Hope. There is. There is hope. There is hope, really. But we have to get involved. I think we have to get involved.
Okay.
We have prayed enough. God has answered our prayers. God has always answered our prayers. We are blessed. We are blessed with human material. We are blessed with resources. We are blessed with every good thing. Our weather is unique. Nigeria weather is unique. So we are blessed. So I think it's time for us to work. And what we've been doing, we've been praying and praying and praying. Unfortunately, the Christian society is not really getting involved as it is. And that's why we keep having these guys on the other side rule things, bring in whatever laws they feel they can bring. Because if we have someone at the ends of affairs, you will not create a law for Corporate Affairs Commission to take over churches when they have issues. Even if he's a Muslim that is at the ends of affairs of church, you now appoint a chairman, Alhaji Mustafa Muhammad Sani, Chief Imam of Kano, to come and sit over church affairs. So we need to get involved. And with that, we can have hope. But as long as parents keep saying, my son, don't get involved, don't do this, don't do that, then we have problems. Another thing that has led us here is our fear. The fear of the unknown. The fear of being labeled has led us this far. And if we do not get involved, we'll continue to face what we are facing till the kingdom come. Or probably we have new countries out of Nigeria.
Okay, and in one of the speech of the president on that Independence Day, he said, I will therefore take this opportunity on this special day that symbolizes the unity and oneness of our great nation to ask all Nigerians to embrace peace, dialogue, and embrace peace, dialogue, whatever your grievances.
Who does not love peace?
Okay, now there was a question raised yesterday in one of the political programs I was watching. Someone said that the federal government presently are not ready to dialogue with any, because looking at it, like we said, we have grievances, we have agitations all over the nation. But it seems as if the current administration doesn't want to dialogue with anybody.
We are running a demo-military system of government. I don't want to sound harsh to call it a military government, an autocratic government. So let me just use the demo-military, because we are trying to do a bit of democracy, but the major part of it is military. We are running an autocratic government. So they see every arm is seen as a terrorist, except in the north. Hip-hop is a terrorist group. Yoruba Nation is a terrorist group. But Boko Haram is not. ISWAP is not in the north. So we have different laws running the country. So if you are talking about peace, then make our laws uniform. Then we would start having peace. I can't be selling something here that makes money, that brings in money for me, that is prohibited in the north, but you can make part of the money. You're going to call it part of the money. It doesn't work that way. You work for what you want. So there is nothing like, nobody wants violence. But when you don't give room for peace, then you get violence. And that's where we are.
And talking about that, in that speech also, the president said that a member of the National Assembly has been identified as one of the sponsors of the secessionist movement. And yesterday, on Tuesday, a member of the House also raised an alarm that he was held at the airport for 4 hours. That they are on red alert that a lawmaker in Nigeria is supporting a secessionist movement. So, and there on the floor, he urged the president to mention the name of that lawmaker. And over time, in 2 weeks past, we've had a certain country, UAE, saying that they have the list of Boko Haram sponsors. And the federal government have told us that they know the Boko Haram. But what is holding them on releasing on those lists?
That is where the whole thing comes down. Whatever works here does not work over there. The people protect themselves over there. We don't. Because we believe the truth must be told. But over there, they don't care about the unity of Nigeria. They only care about what holds for the North and what works for the North. And that's where we are.
Okay. And still talking about 61 years. Now, it's like 2023 is fast approaching. We have not settled the matters on ground. But all our eyes, especially the politicians, like someone jokingly told me in January that we are in 2021, but our politicians are already in 2023.
They have already concluded the election.
Okay. Now, looking at it, there is still this debate of Southern, Northern, and the rest of them.
I said they have already concluded the election. Do you know why? I watched a status. Someone posted a video. It's not even a status, it's a video. A group of guys went to greet Jagaban. And someone in the video, when he said, I'll see you guys later, blah, 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 blah. And then, all right, my president. So we are already telling Nigerians that, guys, you guys are foolish. We have concluded our thing. And then everything is already settled.
And that was the Northern Caucus of National Assembly.
Thank you.
Okay. Now, finally, looking at Nigeria as 61, and we have hope. Yes,
we have hope.
As Christians.
We have hope. As Christians.
We have hope that now, where does that hope, where will that hope take us to?
The hope lead us to us finding our root and our square root. So you now deduce that as to what you want as a Nigerian. For me, I still have hope in this country where I would just want to probably go out and see other side of the world. You know, if the grass is actually greener, then we can probably hold forth and then you understand how it goes.
Okay, and that's the size of our package this morning on State of the National Political Program on Lagoon Radio. Remember, you can join us every Thursday, 10 a.m. to 11 a.m., where we'll update you on the latest happening in the nation. Yes, and don't forget to download our app on Google Play Store and Apple Store. You can also follow us on our social media platforms. On Facebook, it's Lagoon Radio Nigeria, and on Instagram, Lagoonradio.Ng. And thank you for listening to us, and thank you, Taiwo, for coming on the program.
Thank you very much for having me.
We hope to see you when next we call on you.
Of course.
Okay, and also, I will not forget to thank you again, yes, for tuning in, and also thanks to our producer, Olumakaiye, for pressing the right buttons. And from me and Osiki Chimezie, do have a lovely day. Till next Thursday.
You are listening to Lagoon Radio.